The quiet of space shattered as 5 massive shapes tore through reality itself. One moment, Earth's outer sensors showed nothing but empty void beyond Pluto's orbit. The next, 5 alien battleships hung in the darkness like sleeping giants, each one larger than any human structure ever built. Captain Jake Miller stood on the bridge of the USS Defiance, watching the holographic display with growing unease. The alien ships were enormous. The smallest was 3 times the size of his flagship, and the largest looked like it could swallow Manhattan whole. His hands gripped the command rail as he tried to process what he was seeing. "Sir, we're getting readings from all 5 vessels," reported Lieutenant Amy Stone from her communication station. Her voice was steady, but Jake could hear the fear underneath. "Their energy signatures are off the charts. Each ship is putting out more power than our entire fleet combined." Admiral Lisa Carter's face appeared on the main screen, transmitted from Earth Defense Command deep beneath Colorado. Her gray hair was pulled back in a tight bun, and her expression was stone cold. She had fought in the Mars conflicts 20 years ago, and Jake had never seen her look worried before. Today was different. "Jake, I need you to listen carefully," she said. "Long-range sensors show these ships dropped out of some kind of hyperspace jump. We've never seen technology like this before. Dr. Brooks is analyzing their engine signatures now, but early reports suggest they've traveled from outside our galaxy." Dr. Peter Brooks appeared in a smaller window next to the Admiral. The xenobiologist looked exhausted, his normally neat appearance disheveled from hours of frantic work. "Captain Miller, I've been studying the energy patterns from these vessels. Each ship appears to represent a different alien species. The technology is beyond anything we've encountered before." Jake nodded grimly. Humanity had made contact with other species before, but they were all relatively primitive civilizations within a few hundred light-years of Earth. These ships were something else entirely. "Admiral, what are your orders?" Jake asked. Before Carter could respond, every screen on the bridge flickered. The image of the Admiral disappeared, replaced by something that made several crew members gasp in shock. A massive reptilian head filled the screen, its yellow eyes gleaming with predatory intelligence. Scales covered its face like natural armor, and when it spoke, rows of razor-sharp teeth were visible. Behind it, 4 other alien faces appeared, each more terrifying than the last. "Primitive humans of the 3rd planet," the reptilian spoke, its voice a harsh growl that seemed to vibrate through the ship's hull. "I am Zarthok, war commander of the Vectar Empire. These are my allies in the Galactic Dominion." The camera pulled back to show the other aliens. A crystalline being that seemed to be made of living diamond spoke next, its voice like wind chimes in a storm. "I am Empress Ylandra of the Zephyrian Collective." A brutish creature covered in thick hide and metal implants grunted his introduction. "War Chief Grokmar of the Gornak Horde." A shadowy figure wreathed in darkness whispered, "High Inquisitor Velash of the Nethys Covenant." Finally, an insect-like being with multiple eyes and clicking mandibles announced, "Admiral Kexlon of..." The 3 green swarm. Zarthok's image dominated the screen again. "We have come to claim this system for the Dominion. Your pathetic species will surrender immediately, or we will demonstrate why 500 worlds have fallen before us." The screen shifted to show holographic records of alien worlds. Jake watched in horror as planet after planet was reduced to burning rubble. Cities vaporized in seconds. Entire civilizations wiped out with casual efficiency. The aliens had documented their conquests like trophies. "Your technology is laughable," Empress Ylandra added, her diamond-like features reflecting the light of burning worlds. "Our sensors detect only primitive fusion drives and chemical explosives. We have seen insects with more advanced weaponry." War Chief Grokmar's laughter was like grinding stone. "My smallest escort vessel could destroy your entire fleet without effort. Your ships are built like toys." High Inquisitor Velash's whisper seemed to come from everywhere at once. "We have studied your species during our approach. You are violent and divided. You fight among yourselves over resources and territory. You are weak." Admiral Kexalon's compound eyes focused on the camera. "The Hive has analyzed your defensive capabilities. 12 ships, Primitive weapons. No energy shields. You cannot even travel faster than light without taking decades to reach your nearest star. Zarthok leaned forward, his massive head filling the screen completely. We grant you 72 of your planetary rotations to prepare your surrender. Gather your leaders. Prepare your submission. When we return, any resistance will result in your extinction. The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Jake looked around at his crew. Amy Stone was pale but focused, her hands already working on communication protocols. The weapons officer, Lieutenant Ben Clark, was staring at his console with wide eyes. The navigator, Ensign Kate Price, was quietly calculating distances and trajectories. "Sir," Amy said quietly, "I'm receiving emergency transmissions from Admiral Carter." The Admiral's face reappeared on screen, and this time Jake could see the worry she was trying to hide. "Jake, I need you to buy us time. Move your fleet to intercept position, but do not engage. I repeat, do not engage those vessels. Admiral, with respect, they just gave us 3 days to surrender. Our orders?" Carter was quiet for a moment, and Jake could see her weighing her words carefully. "There are things about Earth's defenses that are classified above your clearance level, Captain. What I can tell you is that we need those 72 hours. Keep your fleet visible but maintain distance. Make them think we're scrambling to prepare a defense." Dr. Brooks appeared again on screen. "Captain, I've been analyzing their communication signals. These aliens are incredibly arrogant. They've conquered so many primitive worlds that they can't imagine facing real resistance. That might be an advantage." Jake nodded slowly. "Understood. Amy, signal the fleet. We're moving to forward positions. All ships maintain full sensor sweeps but do not power weapon systems. I want us to look like we're desperately trying to figure out what we're facing." As the human fleet began moving toward the alien armada, Jake stared at the tactical display. 12 human ships against 5 alien dreadnoughts. On paper, it looked hopeless. But Admiral Carter had seemed confident about something, and Jake had learned to trust her instincts. "Sir," Amy reported, "the alien ships are maintaining position at the edge of the system. They're not moving closer." "They're giving us time to panic," Jake realized. "They want us to spend 3 days in terror, imagining what they're going to do to us." Ben Clark looked up from his weapons console. "Captain, what if they're right? What if we really can't fight them?" Jake was quiet for a moment, watching the alien ships on his display. They hung in space like silent threats, confident in their overwhelming power. But something about Admiral Carter's expression had given him hope. "Then we'll find out together," he said finally. "But I have a feeling those aliens are about to learn something about humanity they didn't expect." 18 hours had passed since the aliens arrived. Captain Jake Miller paced the bridge of the USS Defiance, watching his tactical display with growing tension. The 5 alien battleships remained motionless at the edge of the solar system, like predators watching their prey. Dr. Peter Brooks had not slept since the first transmission. His laboratory deep inside the ship was filled with holographic displays showing alien energy patterns, shield frequencies, and weapon signatures. His tired eyes burned as he studied the data, but something important was beginning to emerge. "Captain," Dr. Brooks called over the intercom, "I need you to see this immediately." Jake made his way to the laboratory, finding the scientists surrounded by floating displays of alien ship schematics. The man's normally neat appearance was disheveled, his hair sticking up at odd angles. "What have you found, Doctor?" Brooks pointed to a series of wave patterns on his main display. "Their shields operate on harmonic frequencies, Captain. Each species uses a different pattern, but they all have one thing in common. They're designed to deflect primitive energy weapons and kinetic projectiles." Jake studied the patterns, trying to understand what Brooks was getting at. "What does that mean for us?" "It means their shields have never faced adaptive frequency weapons. They're built to stop the same types of attacks over and over. If we can match their harmonic frequencies and then shift rapidly between different patterns, we might be able to create interference." Before Jake could respond, Lieutenant Amy Stone's voice crackled over the ship's communication system. "Captain, we're intercepting alien communications. Dr. Brooks should hear this." Jake and Brooks hurried back to the bridge, where Amy was working frantically at her station. She had managed to break through the alien encryption, and the bridge, speakers were filled with alien voices. The humans scurry like frightened insects, came Zarthok's harsh growl. My sensors show their ships moving in random patterns. They have no strategy. Empress Yolandra's crystalline voice chimed in. Their energy signatures are pathetic. The largest human vessel produces less power than our smallest support craft. They are trying to scan our ships. Admiral Kexlon clicked with amusement. Their primitive sensors cannot even penetrate our outer hull plating. War Chief Grokmar's brutal laughter echoed through the speakers. Should we end this charade early? My warriors grow restless. No, High Inquisitor Velash whispered. Let them suffer in fear. The terror will make their surrender more complete. Amy switched off the audio feed and looked at Jake with a mixture of anger and determination. Sir, they're treating this like a game. Jake nodded grimly. The alien's arrogance was exactly what Admiral Carter had hoped for, but it still stung to hear Earth's defenses mocked so casually. Captain, came Admiral Carter's voice from the main screen. We need to begin protocol, Shepard. Are your ships in position? Jake glanced at his tactical display. The human fleet was spread across the inner solar system in what appeared to be a desperate defensive formation. Yes, Admiral. All ships are ready. Good. Captain Hayes, are you prepared? Captain Tom Hayes appeared on a secondary screen from the bridge of the USS Ranger. The smaller vessel was positioned between the alien fleet and the rest of the human ships. Hayes was a veteran of the asteroid mining conflicts, known for his steady nerves under pressure. Ready as we'll ever be, Admiral, Hayes replied. My crew knows what they're doing. Dr. Brooks looked confused. Protocol, Shepard? I don't understand. Admiral Carter's expression was stone cold. Doctor, some things are classified above your clearance level. What I can tell you is that we're about to give the aliens exactly what they expect to see. On the tactical display, one of the alien escort vessels began moving toward the human fleet. It was smaller than the 5 command ships, but still twice the size of any human vessel. Incoming transmission from the alien fleet, Amy reported. Zarthok's massive head filled the screen again. Humans, we grow tired of waiting. To demonstrate our power, we will destroy one of your vessels. Choose which ship will die first, or we will choose for you. Jake felt his jaw clench. The alien commander was treating human lives like they meant nothing. We choose no one, Jake replied, his voice steady despite his anger. Zarthok's yellow eyes gleamed with cruel amusement. Then we choose the small vessel that dares to fly closest to our fleet. Consider this a lesson in the futility of resistance. The alien escort ship accelerated toward the USS Ranger. Captain Hayes maintained his position, his ship's engines glowing brighter as he prepared for the encounter. Tom, Jake said quietly over a private channel, you don't have to do this. Hayes smiled grimly. Jake, I've got a job to do. Take care of my crew when this is over. The alien ship opened fire with weapons that tore through space like purple lightning. The USS Ranger's shields flared and collapsed almost instantly. The human ship tried to maneuver, firing its own weapons in what appeared to be a desperate attempt to fight back. The alien weapons struck the Ranger again and again. The human ship's hull began to buckle and crack. Emergency escape pods launched into space as the vessel came apart. We're losing them, Amy reported, her voice tight with emotion. The USS Ranger exploded in a brilliant flash of light that lit up the darkness of space. The alien escort ship circled the debris field like a shark scanning for survivors. Pitiful. Zarthok's voice echoed across all frequencies. Your strongest vessel lasted less than 3 minutes against our weakest ship. This is the might of humanity? On the bridge of the Defiance, Jake watched the tactical display with apparent despair. The destruction of the Ranger had been spectacular and convincing. But deep in his heart, he felt a surge of hope. Behind Jupiter, hidden from alien sensors, massive construction yards were buzzing with activity. General Rick Stone coordinated with Luna Base as hundreds of automated systems came online. Director Kate Johnson activated defense networks that had been hidden throughout the solar system for decades. The aliens had destroyed what they thought was humanity's finest vessel. They had no idea that Captain Hayes and his entire crew were safely aboard hidden rescue ships, watching their own death through stealth drones. The explosion had been a holographic projection, carefully designed to mask the deployment of thousands of sensor drones throughout the system. While the aliens celebrated their easy victory, human technology was quietly mapping every inch of their ships. "Sir," Amy whispered, "I'm detecting massive energy buildups throughout the system. Whatever Admiral Carter has planned, I think it's beginning." Jake nodded, maintaining his expression of defeat for the benefit of alien sensors. "Good. Let them think we're broken. Let them think we're helpless." The alien fleet began moving closer to Earth, confident that human resistance had been crushed. War Chief Grokmar was already selecting which human cities to destroy first. High Inquisitor Velash was planning the enslavement of human survivors. But in the darkness between worlds, humanity was preparing to show these alien invaders something they had never seen before. The trap was set. The bait had been taken. Soon the galaxy would learn what happened when someone threatened Earth's children. Admiral Carter's face appeared on Jake's private screen, and for the first time in days, she was smiling. Phase 1. Complete, Captain. Now let's show them what humans are really capable of. The second day brought more alien attacks. The USS Phoenix died in a ball of fire as alien weapons tore through its hull. Captain Jenny Walsh and her crew seemed to fight bravely before their ship exploded in spectacular fashion. The aliens laughed at another easy victory. 2 hours later, the USS Thunder met the same fate. Captain Mike Johnson appeared to make a desperate last stand before his vessel was reduced to burning wreckage. The alien commanders were growing bored with the simple destruction of human ships. "These humans provide no challenge," War Chief Grokmar complained over intercepted communications. "My youngest warriors could defeat their entire fleet." "Perhaps we should end this quickly," suggested Admiral Kexalon. "The other species we conquered at least tried to run away. These humans just sit there waiting to die." Captain Jake Miller stood on the bridge of the USS Defiance, watching the tactical display with apparent despair. Only 9 human ships remained, scattered across the inner solar system in what looked like a broken formation. The alien fleet was moving closer to Earth, confident in their overwhelming superiority. "Sir," Lieutenant Amy Stone reported quietly, "I'm getting coded signals from the Phoenix and Thunder debris fields. All crew members are safe and accounted for." Jake nodded slightly, careful not to show any emotion that alien sensors might detect. The destruction of the human ships had been as fake as the Ranger's death, but the aliens couldn't tell the difference. Each spectacular explosion had been a carefully crafted hologram designed to hide the truth. Dr. Peter Brooks appeared on Jake's private screen, his tired face showing excitement for the first time in days. "Captain, I've finished analyzing the alien weapon signatures. Their targeting systems are incredibly sophisticated, but they have one weakness. They're designed to lock onto solid metal hulls. They can't track targets that don't have a consistent mass signature." "What does that mean, Doctor?" "It means they can't hit what isn't really there," Brooks said with a tired smile. "Our holographic projections have been perfect. They're destroying images while our real ships hide in the shadows." Before Jake could respond, something impossible happened on the tactical display. The debris from the USS Thunder began moving. Pieces of twisted metal started coming together, reforming into the shape of a starship. Within minutes, the Thunder was whole again, its engines glowing as if nothing had happened. On the alien command ships, alarms began screaming. Emergency meetings were called as alien scientists tried to understand what they were seeing. "Impossible," Zarthok roared. "We destroyed that vessel. Our weapons do not miss." Empress Yolandra's crystalline voice was sharp with confusion. "My sensors confirmed the destruction. The ship's energy signature vanished completely." The debris from the Phoenix began moving next, pieces flowing together like liquid metal. In moments, another dead human ship had returned to life. Then the Yamaga Ranger appeared from behind an asteroid, fully intact and operational. High Inquisitor Velash's whisper carried a note of fear for the first time. "What manner of technology is this? How do they repair destroyed vessels so quickly?" Admiral Kexalon's compound eyes were focused on his instruments. My swarm's analysis shows no energy expenditure for repairs. It is as if the ships were never damaged. Captain Jake Miller allowed himself a small smile. The aliens were finally beginning to understand that they had walked into something beyond their experience. Amy, open a channel to all ships. It's time to drop the pretense. Amy's fingers danced across her controls. Channel open, sir. All human vessels, this is Captain Miller. Execute protocol revelation. Show them what we really are. Across the solar system, the remaining human ships began to change. What the aliens had seen as desperate defensive positions were revealed as carefully planned kill zones, hidden behind asteroids, inside artificial debris fields, and even disguised as space junk. Hundreds of human vessels powered up their engines. Commander Alex Turner's voice crackled over the communication system from the USS Phantom. Stealth systems disengaging. All Wolfpack units, show yourselves. 50 sleek ships materialized around the alien fleet like ghosts becoming solid. They had been there the entire time, invisible to alien sensors, watching and waiting. Captain Nina Ross transmitted from Mars orbital platform. Orbital defense grid coming online. All batteries report ready to fire. What the aliens had dismissed as mining stations and communication satellites revealed their true nature. Massive weapons platforms emerged from camouflage, their energy signatures blazing like new stars. Colonel Sam Davis activated the asteroid belt installations. Railgun batteries charging. We have clear shots on all enemy vessels. The asteroid belt itself came alive with hidden human technology. Rocky surfaces, split open to reveal weapon systems that had been built over decades of secret construction. But the greatest revelation was yet to come. From behind Jupiter's massive bulk, something enormous began to emerge. It was a ship so large that it dwarfed even the biggest alien battleship. The USS Sovereign, humanity's greatest secret, moved into the light of the sun for the first time. Admiral Frank Bell's weathered face appeared on screens throughout the human fleet. This is Admiral Bell aboard the Sovereign. Alien fleet, you are surrounded and outgunned. Surrender now or face the consequences. The 5 alien commanders stared at their tactical displays in growing horror, where moments before they had faced 12 primitive human ships. They now found themselves surrounded by over 300 vessels of various sizes and capabilities. Zarthok's voice shook with rage and disbelief. Impossible. Our sensors showed only 12 ships. How did you hide so many vessels? Jake Miller's face appeared on all alien communication channels. The same way we hid our real capabilities, Commander. You saw what you expected to see. 12 scared ships trying to protect their homeworld. You never looked deeper because your arrogance blinded you. You destroyed our ships, War Chief Grokmar snarled. We destroyed holograms, Jake replied, calmly. Advanced projections designed to make you think you were winning. While you celebrated easy victories, we were studying your weapons, your tactics, and your weaknesses. Dr. Brooks added his voice to the transmission. Your shield harmonics, your targeting systems, your engine signatures. We've mapped everything. You came here thinking you faced primitives, but you found scientists. Empress Yelandra's diamond-like features reflected the light of 100 human weapon systems. This cannot be. We have conquered 500 worlds. No species has ever deceived us like this. Then you've been fighting the wrong species, Admiral Bell said from the Sovereign. You've been bullying civilizations that couldn't fight back. Welcome to your first real war. The alien fleet tried to retreat, but they found their path blocked by human ships on all sides. The trap was complete. 5 alien battleships that had boasted of their superiority now found themselves prey instead of predators. Captain Jake Miller looked around his bridge at the faces of his crew. Amy Stone was smiling as she coordinated communications with the hidden fleet. Dr. Brooks was already analyzing alien panic responses. For the first time in days, the humans looked confident. Alien commanders, Jake said into his microphone, you gave us 72 hours to surrender. We're giving you 5 minutes to decide if you want to live. 5 minutes passed in tense silence. The alien commanders consulted with each other in frantic communications, their voices filled with panic and rage. Captain Jake Miller watched the tactical display as the 5 massive battleships tried desperately to find an escape route. Human fleet. Zarthok's voice finally crackled across all channels. You may have surprised us, but we are still the Galactic Dominion. Our ships are larger and more powerful than anything you possess. We will fight our way out. Admiral Frank Bell's weathered face appeared on the main screen of every human ship. Then you've chosen poorly. All ships. Weapons free. Show them what humanity has learned about war. The battle began with surgical precision. Captain Jack White led the stealth squadron in coordinated strikes against the alien shield generators. His ships moved like ghosts, appearing long enough to fire before vanishing back into the darkness. The alien weapons tried to target them but kept hitting empty space. Their shields are adapting to our frequency attacks, Dr. Peter Brooks reported from his laboratory. But I'm detecting harmonic instabilities in their power cores. Major Sue Green coordinated the drone swarms from her command ship. Thousands of small automated fighters swarmed around the alien vessels like angry bees. Each time the aliens destroyed a group of drones, more appeared to take their place. The drones learned from each attack, adapting their tactics in real time. This is impossible, Admiral Kexelon screamed as his hive destroyer tried to swat the human drones. How do they have so many small craft? Because we think differently than you do, replied tech specialist Dan Moore from his cyber warfare station. You build big ships to intimidate enemies. We build smart weapons to win battles. The first alien ship to fall was War Chief Grokmar's Planet Breaker. The massive vessel was built like a flying fortress designed to pound worlds into submission with overwhelming firepower. But human ships were too fast and too clever for its heavy weapons. Captain Nina Ross coordinated the attack from Mars orbital platform. All railgun batteries target the Planet Breaker's engine section. Fire when ready. Beams of accelerated metal struck the alien ship from multiple angles. The Planet Breaker's thick armor, designed to resist energy weapons, cracked under the eye. Kinetic assault. War Chief Grokmar's final roar echoed across communications before his ship exploded in a brilliant ball of fire. Empress Yelandra's star render tried to use its crystalline technology to create defensive barriers around itself. The beautiful ship looked like a work of art, its diamond-like hull reflecting the light of battle. But Dr. Brooks had found the weakness in crystalline structures. Frequency weapons switch to harmonic pattern 7, Brooks called out. Target the resonance points I'm highlighting on your displays. Human ships fired energy beams tuned to specific frequencies. The crystalline hull of the star render began to vibrate, then crack, then shatter. Empress Yelandra's ship came apart, like a broken jewel, its pieces spinning away into space. High Inquisitor Velash tried to use the Soul Harvester's stealth systems to escape, but Dan Moore was ready for him. The human cyber warfare specialist had been studying alien computer systems since the first transmission. Uploading virus to the shadow ship, Dan reported. Their stealth systems are based on predictable algorithms. I'm feeding them false data about their own position. The Soul Harvester appeared and disappeared randomly as its computers fed it wrong information. Human ships targeted the areas where the alien vessel would materialize next. Within minutes, the shadowy ship was nothing but scattered debris. Admiral Kexelon's hive destroyer fought like the insect it resembled, using swarm tactics and multiple weapon systems. But Major Sue Green's drone swarms were better at swarming than any alien species. Drones, pattern Omega, Major Green commanded. Show them how a real hive works. The human drones surrounded the hive destroyer in perfect formation, each small, craft knowing exactly where every other drone was positioned. They struck from all directions at once, overwhelming the alien ship's defenses through pure coordination. Only Zarthok's bone crusher remained, the massive reptilian flagship trying to ram its way through the human fleet. The ship was built, like its commander, brutal and direct, designed to crush enemies through raw power. But Admiral Bell and the USS Sovereign were waiting. The human supership moved to intercept the alien flagship, and for the first time in the battle, the aliens faced something larger than their own vessel. Zarthok, Admiral Bell said calmly, you came here expecting to find prey. Instead, you found the apex predator of this galaxy. The Sovereign's weapons were unlike anything the aliens had seen. Instead of simple energy beams or kinetic projectiles, the human ship fired weapons that used the aliens' own technology against them. Gravitational distorters that crushed hull plating, energy drains that fed on alien power cores, adaptive smart missiles that learned to counter alien defenses. The Bone Crusher's thick armor, designed to withstand the weapons of 100 conquered worlds, proved useless against human ingenuity. Zarthok's final transmission was a mixture of rage and disbelief. This cannot be. We are the Galactic Dominion. We have ruled for 1,000 years. Your 1,000 years are over, Jake Miller replied from the bridge of the Defiance. Tell your masters that Earth sends its regards. The Bone Crusher exploded in a flash that lit up the entire solar system. The 5 alien battleships that had boasted of their power were now nothing but scattered wreckage floating in the darkness of space. Admiral Lisa Carter appeared on screens throughout the human fleet, her expression serious but satisfied. All ships stand down from combat alert. Begin recovery operations for any alien survivors. We're not monsters like they were. As human ships moved to rescue escape pods and gather intelligence from the wreckage, Jake Miller looked around his bridge. His crew was exhausted but proud. They had faced impossible odds and won through intelligence, preparation, and teamwork. Amy, open a channel to the entire galaxy, Jake ordered. It's time to introduce ourselves properly. Lieutenant Amy Stone's fingers worked across her console, setting up a transmission that would reach every corner of known space. Channel open, sir. Broadcasting on all frequencies. Jake looked directly into the camera, his expression calm but determined. People of the galaxy, this is Captain Jake Miller of the Earth Defense Force. The Galactic Dominion came to our system expecting easy conquest. Instead, they found that humanity does not kneel to bullies. The message would take years to reach the farthest worlds. But Jake knew it would be heard. Earth was no longer hiding in the shadows. Humanity had announced itself to the galaxy not as victims, but as protectors. To any species suffering under Dominion rule, Jake continued, know that you are not alone. Humanity stands ready to help those who cannot help themselves. The age of conquest is ending. The age of justice has begun. As the transmission ended, Jake smiled. The aliens had boasted about their might, but they had learned the truth about human determination. Earth's children were ready to take their place among the stars.